So, hi Satoshi. Thank you so much for being with me today. How you doing? First of all.
Hello,
Hello.
thank you for allowing me to be a part of this. I'm actually a bit sick. I think Oslo had its, a part in that. Its part in that, and there is some sort of cold around because everyone is getting this springtime cold. Is it the same for you?
You're not the first person from the Eurovision who told me that. I actually spoke a few days ago. I actually spoke with Veronica Fusaro, and I
Okay.
know you know her.
Yes, yes, we met in Oslo.
Yeah, she talked to me about she talked to me about you, but we're gonna talk about this in a second. And she told me she had the cold too, and she's not the only one. I think Alicia too told me she was not feeling good.
Yes, and it's both because everyone is working a lot. I assume that everyone is, grinding, rehearsing, doing different type of preparation, and everyone wants to be fit and in good shape. So everyone's going to, gyms and filming stuff. So and it's springtime and the weather is tricky. So you
It
feel
is.
like you can go, without.
But no worries, because you still have plenty of time before the Eurovision starts. Plus, I also, now that you're telling me that, I also spoke with Lion Seca
Yeah.
yesterday, and he's a cold too. So I guess there's kind of a virus going on. I don't know.
Yeah, I think so. I think so. But I have my teas and honeys and lemons around, so I'm on
So
it.
good luck about that. So Vlad, thank you so much once again for being with me today. We're gonna talk about your amazing, like strong, powerful song in a second. But first things first, because you're talking to an Italian audience for now, I would like you to introduce yourself a little bit more. Tell us a little bit more about your career so far and who you have become and how did you get to the artist that you are like today. Okay.
Yes, well, saluti a tutti in this case. My name is Vlad or Satoshi. I am a singer from Republic of Moldova. I was born in 1998 in a tiny city in the south of my country, where I was raised, and I finished my lyceum studies there. I'm making music since I was a teenager, like since I was 14 years old. I was constantly writing lyrics, but then I started to listen to some more rock music, and I created a high school band with my friends, which held for 5 years, where I've played drums and write lyrics. And that was my first, attempt to make music. It was then when I fell in love with it, and when it became my safe place every time anything bad happened. Then I went to the university in Chisinau. I graduated acting as bachelor's and master's degree. And still at the end of the first grade, some guys also from the Academy of Arts invited me to be a part of another group, of another band. So I joined another one, and my music thing went on. And I continuously wrote lyrics, then playing in different cover bands, trying to make a living, sometimes playing in restaurants and, terraces at cajon and percussion with different guys with guitars. We're just playing covers. And in the second year of university, I started to look for some musical identity that was more about myself, that was representing myself more. And I started to write specific type of rap lyrics somehow that represented me. So it slowly became the thing that it is today. I got a couple of friends who were more into digital audio production. So if before we were like playing drums and guitars and everything, I suddenly, caught myself in a world where everyone has home studios producing beats, and everything changed, and it was interesting for me as well. So I moved on, and I don't know, it went naturally. I just started to follow, my inner calls. So here I am with this thing called Satoshi, and I'm blessed to have people listening to my music, coming to concerts, and trying to build a community.
Where does your name come from? It sounds like Japanese or like manga or anime or anything, something
Well,
like that.
Yes, I'm passionate about Japanese world, Japanese culture, Japanese food, and art. And of course, when I was younger, I was watching a lot of animes. Right now, I'm still watching, maybe not that often. And I have a manga collection. But it's not only that, I was constantly watching different documentaries and vlogs about Japan. It is unique, and it seems very attractive to me. So that's why I've decided. And I was looking for meanings, for meaningful stuff, meaningful words. And Japanese people, they are full of depths of meanings, of philosophy. So it's a huge source of inspiration where you can look out for different interesting things. So that's where it comes from. It basically means clear thinking, and it is a male name, pretty often seen in Japan.
Amazing, amazing. So before we start talking about your song, can you tell us a little bit more about how Moldova chooses its own representative every single year, that the whole process?
Yes, there is a contest. It's called the Etapa Nacional, like the national level of selection. Uh, it is organized, of course, by the broadcaster Teleradio Moldova, and it has different levels. Regarding this year, it had the first one was where you applied like online, or you can go with a proper file and you fill everything and attach your song. Then they have to the commission have to choose the ones that they consider good for the next level. So the next level, the second one, was closed auditions, where everyone who was selected came to prove that he's not AI, and that he can properly sing and like represent himself on a stage. And then the ones after the closed auditions were chosen to be a part of the national finals. So they picked us, and then we had that big event in the arena, this year for the first time in the Chisinau Arena.
Mm-hmm.
We had a lot of people in the audience, like they were buying tickets and they came to the show. And the result was consisted of three elements. It was the national jury vote,
Mm-hmm.
it was the international invited jury vote, and it was the public vote, the televote. So you have three factors to remove any kind of tricks and stuff during.
Like bias.
Yes. So, and it worked out well because it brings a lot of opinions and everyone is able to speak. So yes, it was a lot for me, because at some point, a lot of people was giving me votes and I was like, okay, what's happening? I was confident about myself, but not to that extent. Then where everyone went
Definitely.
crazy.
Definitely. So, of course, I heard your song, and even though it's not like in the first places of the odds, at least for now, it's a banger, and I'm pretty sure they're gonna do an amazing show.
Thank you.
Regardless of whatever's gonna happen, you're gonna do an amazing show. Tell us a little bit more about Viva Moldova, because there are so many different layers in your song.
Thank you for noticing that. Well, it is a song that says a couple of things. It has a couple of message lines.
Yeah.
First of all, it represents my culture at this moment of time. Like, it represents the Moldovan vibe, which is a kind one, a joyful one, a one. It is a positive one. Our people our people are like this song. We're pretty joyful, and we are very welcoming when you're coming to our country. So you'll never find anything about a Moldovan being so aggressive or acting as a bully.
I can
Well,
tell. I can already tell, Vlad.
well, we're rounded like the hora dance, like this circle. So since I have this opportunity to speak to such a large community as the Eurovision one and European one, I wanted to represent my culture. So I gave a couple of name dropping there. Uh, the song says, "Welcome to Moldova, mi casa e su casa." We are just, we're a part of this European thing, European family and cultural common space. So we have a lot of things in common, starting from history, linguistic groups, and geography shared with so many events. So we're just a part of this big family, and we want to be a part of it. The second one is an affirmation of a common European space, because I wanted to make a map from Soroca to Palma de Mallorca, and I wanted to say that we can understand each other. And even though this place called Europe is the most diverse one regarding languages and nations, that is actually good, and that makes us special. So I think this song, to me, this is Eurovision. What it is about. I tried to make a song, an Eurovision song, that says, bro, let's have fun. We can understand each other, and we can represent ourselves in the same context.
It is, and I think it's like so brave. And I'm telling you this because you're not just celebrating like, Europe in general. You're actually performing a song about your country.
I do.
And that's pretty rare. I mean, anyone else would have brought, like, international love, universal language, and you did not uh, do that thing. You celebrated your country, but at the same time, you brought a song which is which has a like strong, powerful sound. It kind of reminded me, of course, cha cha cha. Of
Okay,
course,
of course, yes.
from Khadija, Khadija.
Maria,
Kalia.
Maria.
I'm sorry about the pronunciation,
Okay.
but I'm pretty sure that you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
And that's it's brave. It's a brave choice. So really, congratulations about that, man.
Thank you. I think Eurovision is that type of context where you have the opportunity to bring to the table your own piece of cake, so and share it with the others. This is what it is about. It was meant to unify Europe and to say, okay, now we share the same space. It's not that big, so let's properly share it and exchange it. And this
And let's
is
have a party. Let's have like a proper
yes,
party.
yes, yes. I made a song for the people to party. So I'm waiting for that moment in Vienna where I will see how that arena will react to this jumping
Energy. It's like
anthem.
a fun and energy. And it's interesting because Moldova is a kind of a small country. So I
It
wanted
is.
to ask you, what do you think? And not everyone knows about Moldova. Me neither. I actually don't know much about Moldova.
Right.
If you had to introduce your country, apart from the fact that you're very welcoming, what would you say about your country? What does people do not know about your country that you're really proud of?
My country is probably the most culturally diverse place in Europe at the moment, because it was situated at the border of different countries in different periods of time. So it brings together cultures that are so different, like the Latin civilization and the Slavic one. We mixed with something local that was ancient there, and with some Balkan influences on it. So you have a very diverse place, which makes the people that are populating this land so unique. And you can hear so many different languages. What else you can find? We have a very good cuisine. We a very, very, very tasty kitchen. You can find good stuff here. We have all four seasons, and it's very weather wise, it's very pleasant to live in Moldova, because you get it all. You can enjoy it all. You have a proper autumn and summer and winter. Everything is perfect. uh, and the people are pretty easygoing. At the same time, we're not too relaxed or too tight.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're pretty well rounded.
And
So
it's rare because I don't want to talk about like stereotypes, but sometimes people from Eastern Europe tend to be, kind of a.
tougher. Yes, we're not tough. We're not
You're
tough.
not. You're not. Definitely not tough. So, of course, we cannot spoil anything about the staging, but what could we expect and what are you working for talking about the staging?
Yes, we recreated the outfits to make them closer to the ones that I genuinely wear when I have concerts,
Mhm.
but we make them like a special edition of them for the Eurovision, so they have some sort of a meaning or a signature. We recreated everything that is on the LED screens. Like we created some characters that will be there, and we've worked on the show generally. So yes, you'll get the updated version of the performance 100%.
I'm thrilled. I'm so thrilled. I was also thinking about Stefania from Ukraine, which of course is another different song, but it
Yes,
kind of reminded me, talking about the mood, the mixture of
yes.
genres. It really, and I loved Stefania.
We played together with Kalush in Chisinau a couple of years ago.
Really, how
Yes.
was that? What can you tell us about Kalush Orchestra?
Well, they're grinding people. They're the like Ukrainians in general are very talented about multimedia and about music and music videos and everything. So they have a very good taste when it comes to arts, or especially visual arts and dancing and everything. They're so good at it. So they had a good show in our main square in Chisinau. I think it was Europe's Day. I think it was Europe's Day 2023 or 2024. So we shared the same stage.
What do you expect from this Eurovision for you? About experience, about whatever. What do you expect?
I do expect people to be friendly. I do expect people to make new friends. I do expect everyone, going out from this thing with some new connections and opportunities to go on. And I do expect Eurovision to keep its strength and capacity of bringing people together. So this is an anniversary edition. It's 70 years, and that is wonderful. So we gotta every big thing, everything that evolves in time tends to forget its beginnings and ideology, because people get used to it, and we tend to forget like the ideology that moved us at the beginning. So I fingers crossed that Eurovision maybe this year, and I'll try this through communication and interviews and my statements to make people reconnect with what is Eurovision about. So it's a uh I don't know, it's a holiday of humanity, of European civilization being able to stay together at the same table, having fun. So it's important to not to forget that, not to go only into that television contest, So that's it.
As you probably remember, like a couple of years ago, the motto was "United in Music," and I think that's the whole point, right? Like meeting
Yes.
new people and making new connections. Talking about connections, what are your favorite songs from this year competition? What are your favorites?
My favorite one is Alice Nunn. Definitely is the my Albanian friend, and we became good friends. I think we chat almost every day, and it's good. I also love Ferto by Aquilas. I enjoy Alexandra Capitanescu's song "Choke Me," since I love rock music. Well, Finland has a blast in terms of melodicity and musicality.
Yeah.
What else? Actually, Veronica Fusaro had such a good voice in Oslo that we thought, like, is it for real? Like, she has a very good tone in life.
Seriously. Yeah, no, I mean, I could tell she's amazing. And you met her, then you met Alicia. Did you met anyone else in Oslo?
Of course, yeah. Well, I met Alicia in Poland while I was in Warsaw, and she has a very good sense of humor. Of course, I met Antigone, I met Zenith, I met Lion Sika, I met my God, who else? Atvara. It was, Cosmo. A lot of people were there. Um,
Celine
so
is like super fun too. She's from she's actually Italian, but she's representing San Marino. I had the chance to meet her a couple of times. She's an amazing artist, like super fun.
yeah, she's also special.
She's
Yeah,
special.
she has a little mystery vibes in her, when we spoke in reality, and that was beautiful.
What can you tell us, if you can tell us anything about Sal da Vinci, our representative? Have you heard the
Yeah,
song?
of course, everyone knows it. I think it will bring such a good vibe to the contest because it has this vintage song, music. It's, good pop music with a strong chorus, and he's full of charisma. I think that will be a very good act at Eurovision, and everyone will have a fun. And I'm waiting for the moment where everyone will do this thing in the arena, because that would be huge.
Thank you so much for creating the choreography. I was expecting that, and you did not disappoint. Honestly, thank you so much. Really, I'm so glad. I'm so glad. Would you like to send a message to Sal da Vinci? Whatever you want to say, in whatever you want to say.
Of course, I would like to say congratulations for a good song and for a good presence. It brings only good vibrations to the table. So that is what we appreciate. Like, he's open, he has fun, and it doesn't seem like anything negative coming out of him. So that is perfect.
He is. He's definitely like such a cool guy. Plus, I know. I probably know. I probably. You probably know Natalia from Moldova. She represented Moldova in 2021 with like a super like viral song.
Bianco, you mean
Sugar.
Natalia Bianco?
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you know her? I
Yes,
was.
we know each other personally. Yes.
What can you tell us about it? Because I don't know if you know it, but her song, like her like high note at the end, became like such a viral meme on the internet,
I
and it was
know.
like super fun.
Well, she's how to tell, she's opened. There's nothing to guess, about her. She is what she is. She's open, then, and she works like this directly. She's straight in your face.
I have a couple of more questions for you, Vlad. The first one is probably the toughest question, so if you don't feel like super comfortable, just please skip it and we can go to the end of the interview. So this is a very complicated edition for Eurovision Song Contest. We all know the reasons why. I'm not going to talk too much, in depth. We are not going to talk about politics, of course, but I want to ask you the same question that I asked the other competitors that I have already had the chance to talk with, which is, why did Moldova choose to participate this year? Why did you decide to participate this year while some other countries decided not to participate?
I cannot answer for the ones that decided not to participate, because it was their decision and their internal process of taking that decision. What I can tell about myself and about probably what could I assume about the countries that decided to join the contest is, it is very important, specifically during these crazy times of mankind right now, to keep this thing going. Because if we will, stay more divided, more into our, bubble, and everyone will tear apart everything that was built through 70 years, that will be a great loss for us. So that's what I'm thinking. That's why I think it's important to stay a part of it, because it saves the unity. It gives us a chance to talk to each other, to communicate. This is a very unique European asset, that we have to preserve. So we gotta keep it. Otherwise,
Definitely. Plus, I was thinking that your country, because of its position and because of its history, and for the history of that part of Europe, I think it's like the best representation ever of how, you know, different cultures can really unite in music
Yes, I
in
think so.
in these tough times. So Vlad, I am super glad about this interview. That was amazing talking to you. So thank you so much. First of all,
Thank you.
I really wish you the best.
Thanks.
Before we end this interview, I would just ask you to send a message to the news followers. So the channel, TikTok channel is news. Okay, whatever you want to say, you can say. I don't know. Listen to my song, support me at the Eurovision. Whatever you want to say. Okay, and then we can end this interview. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you. And to everyone who's watching us, I'd like to say saluti a tutti and welcome to Moldova. We are happy to see you here. And I will do my best to give you a good Eurovision year this year. I will make you as happy as possible.
Can I just say hi to the news followers and then we're done?
Right. Hi to the news followers.
Vlad, it was amazing. Thank you so much once again. Congratulations for your song and for this amazing path. I wish you the best.
Thank you.
But I have good vibes. I really have good vibes. Thank you. Grazie mille.
Prego.
Ciao, grazie mille.
Ciao, ciao.
Ciao.
Buona
Ciao, ciao.
serata. Ciao, ciao.